Hi, I'm John Stewart, Chief Investment Officer of Farmers Trust Company. This is the Investor's Edge.
The Investor's Edge, Market Insights with John Stewart, is brought to you by Farmers Trust Company.
Hi, I'm John Stewart. Welcome to the Investor's Edge. First up, the week in review. Get ready for infrastructure. This past week, the Senate passed both a $1 trillion infrastructure package as well as a budget resolution that paves the way for an additional $3.5 trillion of spending favored by Democrats. So get ready for a new bridge near you. Well, not so fast. Actually, there may be several months before the official package gets passed, as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has said that she won't take up one package without the other. And there are even many Democrats who are starting to get a little reluctant about the amount of spending that's occurring. While the $1 trillion infrastructure piece was actually passed with a modest amount of Republican support, 19 out of a total 50 Senate Republicans voted for the measure, the budget resolution was passed on a pure party line vote with 50 Democrats and 0 Republicans. And as I said, even many of the Democrats are starting to get a little bit weary of the runaway spending and the inflation that it seems to be causing. Speaking of the inflationary pressures we're all starting to feel, it seems to be getting hot enough to cause a little bit of concern even at the White House. The Biden administration has called on OPEC to increase oil production as a means of bringing down gasoline prices. Good luck with that. For this week's featured insight, how to manage losing positions. I learned early on in my investing career that you don't have to make your money back on the same stock that you lost it on. Most investors are very reluctant to sell a losing position because it means they have to, in essence, admit failure. They would rather have hope that the position may come back and ultimately become profitable. This is a psychological bias called loss aversion, and it causes investors to hang on to losing positions far longer than they should, potentially causing underperformance. If a stock is underperforming for fundamental reasons, that is, the business conditions are deteriorating, for example, sales growth may be slowing, it typically makes sense to cut your losses fairly quickly and move on to a better opportunity. Like I said, you don't have to make your money back on the same stock that you lost it on. In addition, you can actually get a tax benefit by taking a loss, using it to either offset other gains that you may have, or even offset income on your tax return. Looking ahead, August and September can be bumpy. Well, I mentioned at the beginning of last month that July tends to actually be a strong month overall for the stock market, especially in the year following a presidential election. Well, this past July didn't disappoint. The S&P 500 index was up 2.3% for the month, which was actually right on the screws in line with its historical average for a July in a post-election year. Now, I also mentioned that August and September can be a little bit more dicey. However, it's important to keep in mind that even though we've seen some volatile Augusts and Septembers in the past, there have actually been more positive Augusts and Septembers than there have been losing months. And so it doesn't necessarily make sense to rush out and sell your stocks willy-nilly. We also have very strong earnings growth, which could act as a tailwind for the market to keep things moving in the right direction. Nevertheless, if you've been heavily invested in stocks during this bull market run, it could make sense to rebalance your portfolio a little bit by selling some of your winning positions, locking in profits. Alternatively, if you've been sitting on cash waiting for an entry point, it may make sense to wait for the next several weeks just to see if we get a fall pullback, which could be a good entry point into the market, as November and December tend to be some of the strongest months of the year on average. Once again, I'm John Stewart. Thank you for watching The Investor's Edge.
The Investor's Edge, Market Insights with John Stewart, is brought to you by Farmers Trust Company.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications. And also make sure to connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For all of your business news, visit businessjournaldaily.com. For all of your arts and entertainment news, go to afterhoursyoungstown.com.